I came home after working a 14-hour shift and found my clothes dumped in the rain, my dead father's photo frame shattered on the driveway, and my little brother live streaming while laughing. Looks like the family disappointment is finally homeless. 3 days later, the police dragged him out of that same house in handcuffs while my mother screamed my name begging for help. If you love revenge stories filled with betrayal, shocking twists, and satisfying karma, subscribe right now, because the family that threw me out had no idea my father prepared for this years ago. My name is Daniel, and growing up, my younger brother Ryan was always the golden child. Didn't matter what he did, drugs, gambling, debt, my mother defended him every single time. Meanwhile, I was the responsible one, the one expected to sacrifice. After my father died, I worked nonstop to keep our family afloat. I paid the mortgage, the bills, even Ryan's gambling debts. My mother used to cry and call me her guardian angel. But the second Ryan needed money again, everything changed. One night, I came home and realized my key no longer worked. My bags were outside. Through the window, I saw Ryan sitting on the couch drinking beer while my mother stood beside him like I was some stranger. I started banging on the door, confused. Then my mother opened it slightly and said words I'll never forget. Ryan is my real son. You were only useful while your father was alive. I felt something inside me break. Then Ryan picked up his phone, started recording me, and laughed while thousands of people watched his live stream. Say goodbye to the house, loser. Even worse, my mother told relatives that I abandoned them after stealing family money. Overnight, people I loved stopped answering my calls. That night, I slept in my car parked across the street from the house I spent years saving. But while sitting there in the dark, I remembered something my father told me shortly before he died. One day, Ryan's greed will destroy this family. When it happens, protect yourself first. At the time, I didn't understand. Now I did. Because my family didn't know the truth years earlier, when my mother almost lost the house because of Ryan's debts, my father secretly transferred ownership into my name through a protected trust. He knew Ryan would eventually try to steal everything. And he was right. The next morning, I called my lawyer. 3 days later, police officers knocked on the front door while Ryan was throwing another party inside the house. He opened the door smiling until officers walked past him holding fraud investigation documents. My mother started panicking as detectives revealed Ryan had forged legal signatures trying to transfer ownership of the house after locking me out. But then came the second shock. During the investigation, police uncovered something even bigger. Ryan had secretly taken loans against my dying father's identity months before he passed away. My mother covered it up for years to protect him. The room exploded into chaos. My mother looked at Ryan in complete horror as officers listed fraud charges, identity theft, and financial crimes. For the first time in her life, even she couldn't protect him. Then Ryan saw me standing outside across the street. His confidence disappeared instantly. Suddenly the same brother who live-streamed my humiliation came running toward me begging for help while neighbors stood outside watching everything. Daniel, please, you can stop this. I looked at him calmly, then at my mother crying on the front porch. And I finally said the words I waited my entire life to say. You taught him that I would always clean up his messes. A pause. Tonight he learns I won't. Police placed Ryan in handcuffs right there in front of the entire neighborhood. My mother collapsed crying as reporters started showing up outside the house. The same relatives who ignored my calls suddenly wanted explanations. But I was done saving people who only loved me when they needed me. A month later, Ryan was sentenced for fraud and identity theft. My mother lost the house during the investigation and moved into a small apartment alone. Last week, she called me crying, saying, "We're still family." I almost answered. But then I remembered sleeping in my car while my brother laughed into a camera. So I hung up. Because sometimes revenge isn't destroying someone. It's finally letting them face the consequences you protected them from their entire lives.